say that. And that's what they want me to let you know, is that they aren't being called upon enough by us. And they are willing to help us as long as we call upon them. Now, I got to get back to Archangel Zadkiel again. I know I'm all over the place, and please forgive me for that if you're not able to follow me. But continue to follow me, because in the end, it's always good. Archangel Zadkiel is that angel for compassion and security. And he wanted me to let you know, when asking for compassion, make sure to ask for compassion for yourself first. And this is exactly what he said, for you cannot have compassion for others unless you first get to understand that you need compassion for yourself. And he says, we will help you develop this, because in doing so, it also creates love for yourself. Compassion allows you to see beyond the surface of all situations that affect you. There's something else I wrote down that because I have to write everything down when I'm channeling the angels. He also says compassion combats judgment. So compassion dispels judgment. This is because when there's compassion for yourself, judgment becomes minimal. This is what he wanted you to know. Again, he is usually assigned as a spirit guide to those who have love for everyone else but themselves. That's important. Archangel Zadkiel is assigned to those as a spirit guide, because I've had a client who thought a different angel was her spirit guide, and when we did a reading, it's actually Archangel Zadkiel. And he's usually assigned as a spirit guide to those who have love for everyone else but themselves. He's assigned to those who have been physically and sexually abused. And he's assigned to those who have the archetype of victim. Not the woe is me person. No, not the woe is me person, but the person who has the archetype. And what I mean by archetype, we all come here with a certain archetype. You're either going to be a victim, a slave. There are many archetypes, but the one who has suffered greatly from physical and sexual abuse, he's assigned to those people as well. And the reason why he's assigned to those people, let me go over that again. He is usually assigned as a spirit guide to those who have love for everyone else but themselves, those who have been physically and sexually abused, and those who have the archetype of victim. Not the woe is me person, okay? But there's an archetype. Some people are down here with the archetype of victim, and the ones who have suffered greatly from physical and sexual abuse. The reason why he's assigned to those people that follow this criteria is because you all are here to develop compassion for yourselves. That's what you signed up to do, and this is why you've experienced what you've experienced, so that you can develop compassion for yourself. Acts such as these are to form compassion within those it has happened to, for their soul's purpose of evolving. So it has nothing to do with the person who's done the abuse to you. It has everything to do with you. So it is for your soul's purpose of evolving. So your soul has to evolve. You chose to experience this so that your soul can know what it is to have compassion for yourself. Because I ask, why is this so? And why is so brutal of treatment to obtain compassion? And again, I got to teach that what happened to them is not their fault. Why such an act occurred. And there are those who carry the burden of believing they did something for this to happen to them, not realizing this is the archetype they chose in order for their soul to learn to love itself through compassion. I hope I just made sense to you with that. I'm going to repeat that because that was a lot for me to take in. I asked Archangel Zadkiel, why is it so for those who've suffered greatly from physical and sexual abuse to develop compassion for themselves? And again, I get to teach that what happened to them is not their fault. Why such an act occurred. There are those who carry the burden of believing they did something for this to happen to them, not realizing this is the archetype they chose in order for their soul to learn to love itself through compassion. So for those who have that archetype of victim, who have been physically and sexually abused, those who love everyone else but themselves, call on Archangel Zadkiel, because you are here the spirit within you, who you are. That's your essence. That's who you are. Your spirit is here to learn to have compassion for yourself. Compassion for yourself. To know that you chose to come down this lifetime to experience that in order for you to have compassion for yourself. That it isn't your fault. And it's for those people who think it's their fault why these things have happened to them. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You're here to learn to have compassion for yourself. That's it. So that was kind of hard to take yesterday, y'all, but I had to write it down to give it to you because he wants you to know that. So for those people who are suffering with this, please don't hesitate to call on Archangel Zadkiel to help you to have compassion for yourself and to heal from that. Because once you have compassion for yourself, you will heal from loving others and not yourself. You will heal from whatever happened to you, whatever abuse happened to you at whatever time in your life. And you will learn that you are not a victim, even though that's the archetype you chose, but you are not a victim. You are here to learn compassion, to have compassion for yourself. And I hope I got the point across to you in a way where you would understand. I just received you did, Stephanie. So I'm glad and happy that I did. So for those who want to who are seeking compassion to heal from whatever happened to you, call on Archangel Zadkiel for compassion, please. And for those who are worrying every day about how you're going to eat, your 401k, your IRA, be grateful. Look around you and be grateful for what you have already. And don't worry about what you don't have. And be grateful for what you do have. And focus on that. And know that every day takes care of itself and that you are secure within every day. Every day you're secure. Now, Archangel Metatron came through yesterday. And, before I get to Archangel Metatron, let me go ahead and finish telling you what Archangel Zadkiel says. He says, I asked the question, once a person asks for your help, what else should they do? And Archangel Zadkiel says, again, keep an open heart, mind, and ears. And I thank you, Archangel Zadkiel. Is there anything else you would like for me to know, to tell the audience? Excuse me, listeners. I apologize because I got two angels talking to me right now. And they download the information to me. I'm going to take a break right now, and we will come back and I will discuss Archangel Metatron and Archangel Raphael, because Archangel Raphael is waiting so patiently to give to me what it is he wants you to know. So I thank you so very much for listening, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. This is Madam Coach Perea, host of the Love and Pillow Talk radio show. Watch every Wednesday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. And if you miss it, you can catch the podcast. And thank you for listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you for listening. And you are back with Stephanie Carter, Spirits with Stephanie, on the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. And so I'm here right now with Archangel Zadkiel, Metatron, and Raphael. And I just finished discussing what it is Archangel Zadkiel would like for you to know. Now I'm going to move forward with Archangel Metatron. And Archangel Metatron, let me give you a little history about Archangel Metatron. Well, he's been with me since before I left heaven. So I'm grateful, very grateful to him for all the help he's given to me. What I must say about Archangel Metatron, when I learned who he was, it took me back to that childhood moment of me telling my grandmother that I wanted to be Jewish. Now I understand why. When I learned who Archangel Metatron is, and when I found out that he is with me all the time, it also took me back to why I love the Old Testament more so than the New Testament. Now, to you Christians, don't be offended. This is not to offend anyone. This is just how I feel. And this is what I love about the world. We, in all of the faiths and all the religions, we have a choice. We can choose. At least in America, we can choose. And I'm grateful for that. Very, very grateful for that. So now I understand why I went to my grandmother and said, I want to be Jewish. Now I understand why I had such a love, and I still have such a love when it comes to the Holy Bible. I have more love for the Old Testament than I do the New. And it's because of who's with me all the time, and that's Archangel Metatron. Now, let me explain to you who Archangel Metatron is. And, well, let me go back. 2002, before I moved from Omaha to Charlotte, and now I'm back in Omaha, and that's a whole nother story. But I had the book of Enoch on my desk, and the person who allowed me to keep it for a week or two said, just make a copy of it. And I never made a copy of it. I don't know if I was just fear or what. Well, the reason why I love the Old Testament so much, and why as a child I said I want to be Jewish. Well, I've had a few lifetimes where I was Jewish. I had a few lifetimes where I was Jewish. I was East India. I was Native American. I was African, Egyptian African. So anyway, once I learned who Archangel Metatron is, first of all, he is one of two archangels that have walked the earth. Archangel Metatron was Noah's uncle, Enoch. He was one of those people who talked and walked with God every day. And when he died, God just swooped him up into archangeldom. Now I understand why on some tarot cards, not all, but just one deck I've seen so far, is that he's on the Chariot card. And I understand why now, because when Archangel Metatron became an archangel, he was just swooped into the air. He was just swooped up into the air. So Archangel Metatron is Enoch, Noah's uncle, who's represented, when you talk about Noah and the ark, and Noah had an uncle by the name of Enoch. And Enoch is now who we call Archangel Metatron. Then Metatron is the tallest archangel. Out of all the archangels, he's the tallest. He is represented by the colors of the watermelon. I see him with blonde hair, because that's how he comes, but then he comes as an orb as well. And his orb is representative of white and the colors of the watermelon. I kid you not, that pretty green on the outside, the pretty green on the inside, and that beautiful, beautiful pink color, flesh color of the watermelon. So that's Archangel Metatron. And Archangel Metatron, you can call on him. He's the archangel for miracles, wisdom, and divine intelligence. So in 2005, when I asked God to show me the truth, give me wisdom and knowledge, I had no idea what I was asking for, which I'm glad, because I know who I am as a spirit. I know who I am as a spirit. And I now understand, because it took 7 years later when I found out who is always with me, who's my major spirit guide. He's my main spirit guide, and that's Archangel Metatron. When I learned what it is he represents, I was like, oh my goodness. Now I understand he placed upon my heart and mind to ask for those things because of what I've signed up to do here on earth in this lifetime, and for what I had written my life to be for me to accomplish while I'm here. So I get it now when I ask for the truth, God to show me the truth and show me wisdom and knowledge. Well, that's why Archangel Metatron is with me all the time. He represents miracles. He represents wisdom. And he is the archangel to call upon for divine intelligence, which is representative of your Akashic record. So with that being said, very few people know to call upon Archangel Metatron, as well as Archangel Zadkiel, because most archangels that people call upon are Michael and Gabriel, which is, most people say Gabriel, but Gabriel is a feminine energy, and Archangel Raphael. So when you call upon Archangel Metatron, you just call. And this is with all angels. You just call, but I'm giving you a description of what they look like so you'll know. And again, Archangel Metatron is the tallest of all the archangels. He is very tall, very, very tall. I see him with these very piercing blue eyes. You can see him as an orb, and his orb is so beautiful. All the orbs, when the angels come to you in orb form, if you can see orbs, all of them are beautiful. I mean, their orbs are just beautiful. But Archangel Metatron's is, I can't even describe, other than the watermelon colors are representative of the orb, and pure white. It's like white or silver looking. And he's just beautiful. All of them are beautiful, but I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, my goodness. Thank you, Archangel Metatron. Of course, the miracle happened. But when you want to call upon an archangel for a miracle, if you want seeking divine intelligence, call upon Archangel Metatron. And if you need some wisdom, call upon Archangel Metatron, and he will supply it to you. Most definitely supply you with the wisdom, supply you with divine intelligence, and supply you with the miracle.